If it's a day called today, we're talking guitars and life. Let's get into it. Well, welcome back everybody to another exciting episode of If at Once You Don't Succeed, Try Again, my friends. No, guys, it's Ted Talks Guitars and Life. What is happening, man? I hope that whatever you're doing today, you're having a fantastic day. Well, my friends, we are looking at the body of the Spare Parts Guitar Project, aka the Frank Stallone prototype body that my dear brother Strings and Puck sent over to me for my enjoyment, fun, and your viewing pleasure. If any of that was enjoyable viewing. Well, it's been quite the journey. You can see that journey in the playlist in the description below. If you've been hanging out with me, you've already seen it. You already know what's going on. If you're new, welcome, Jack. Come back anytime and hang out with us at Ted Talks Guitars and Life. Well, my friends, we're going to tackle the body again today. You might want to sit down or you might need a snack. Why don't you run on out to the kitchen, grab yourself your favorite snack. Meet me back at the workbench, Jack. Let's get into it. Yeah, guys, so a couple of things have transpired since the last video about the body. You saw in the prelude fast forward video that I did copacetically take some 400 grit sandpaper to the front and the back of this guitar body. I have put on the back of the guitar body wood stain. This is salmon wood stain 210 Canadian maple. I really like that color. Now, here's the opportunity. This is a water-based stain. Everybody say it with me. Water-based stain. Now, you may remember in previous vids that when I lacquered the back of this guitar, I had milky white spots. Some, throughout the guitar, particularly up in this area, and then a couple of other spots. The front was almost completely covered in white. I have determined that the reason that happened must have been some kind of chemical reaction. Now, here's what I'm not sure of. Was it because I used a water-based stain, and not only did I use a water-based stain, I used some Gunstock 231 oil-based stain. And I think at one point I even put a little bit of chocolate Rit dye on there. And I think on top of that, I may have put a little bit of varnish on it. So it had a lot of product on it, okay? So I don't truthfully know. Yeah, tell us about it. We watch the channel. Oh, come on, man. Critics are everywhere, guys. Don't let anybody run any space in your head. I'm just telling the truth and shame the devil, because that's what we do on the channel, Jake. Anyway, guys, don't listen to the haters, man. Too much hate in the world. All right, my friends. So far, we have wood-based, water-based, get it straight, stain on this guitar body. I like that color. I don't love it. I love the color we had before. And the color we had before occurred because I mixed with this Gunstock 231, and it gave us this dark, rich color. Now, here is the dilemma. Dilemma At least number one. Somebody make a list of how many dilemmas we got, because I don't even want to know right now. Dilemma number one. If I attempt to put the Gunstock 231 on top of this, even if I get that cool rich color, if when I lacquer it, will I get milky white? In other words, did the milky white come because of a moisture problem, or maybe the chemical reaction between the water-based stain, the oil-based stain, and the lacquer? Guys, I do not know. So maybe what we're going to do is we're going to attempt to put a little bit of that Gunstock 231 on this guitar body just to see what happens. That's the back. The bigger concern, because in all candor, I don't care what this looks like on the back. I really don't. Now, I would like to protect it. In fact, I almost just took this out in the backyard and lacquered it up. In fact, I may end up just doing that in a minute and forego the Gunstock 231. I think that would look pretty sharp if it was just lacquered up. Okay, nobody is going to see the back of the guitar except the player. All right, now, that's not the big issue. The big issue is on the front. So I have 3 challenges. Wait a minute, Ted, we only had 1 challenge yesterday. I know, Jack, but it's Ted. Now I got 3 challenges. What are you going to do, right? Challenge number 1. Challenge number 1 is I've got a big red F right here. And I don't know how to get rid of that. Okay? Challenge number 2. In the last video, in attempting to dig out some of that, I did dig into that body a little bit and left a little love mark right there. Okay? So, am I worried about it? I'm not really worried about it. Why aren't you worried about it, Ted? Well, this isn't a cosmetics opportunity. If this F were not on the body of this guitar, let me tell you about this guitar body. When you throw some cool stain on this guitar, Jack, it looks fabulous. I mean, these patterns and this wood, man, it just pops, okay? So, challenge number 1, big red F. Challenge number 2, a little bit of love right there. Challenge number 3. Guys, I don't know if I did this because I was going too hard in the paint with the sander yesterday. I really don't know. But I've got a little bit of a crack right there that you probably cannot even see. And I hesitate to push on it too much. Now, if I look on the back, so that crack exists right about the line of demarcation between this little very thin veneer, I'll call it, for lack of better words, because I don't know what it's called. Yeah, we know. No, come on, man. It's very thin veneer right here. Okay, that's maybe, I don't know, what's that? 2 to 3 mil thick. And then the actual thin, or the actual thickness of the body. So in other words, it's the drop-off point. Okay, so you can kind of feel it. If you do this, you hear the difference? So about right here, where that crack is where on the back, that crack exists right here, if that makes any sense at all. Now, I cannot see it on the back, so I don't feel like it's a structural problem, but I do feel like what I need to do, I think I need to try to throw some CA glue in there and at least address it in some way. Now, if you hang on the channel, and hey, if you're here, you probably do, because who watches this, right? But the last time, or every time I use CA glue, I have a pretty good track record for repairs. But sanding the CA glue is always hairy-carry, man. So I think I'm just going to have to try it. So I think what I'll be doing is I'll be taking some tape, some blue tape, Keith, and I will be going around that crack the best I can. And then I will put some CA glue in there, and then I will try to sand it, and we'll just see what we do. Okay, guys, I put 400 grit sandpaper on this last night after I discovered the crack, not before. And it's smoothish. It's not super smooth. But again, for me, with this guitar, it cannot be about cosmetics. And that's the reason why. So, I've got a lacquering opportunity on the back. Okay. I've got 3 challenges on the front. Now, let's talk about the front for a minute. And see if I can't get you in here real close. Or at least change up the angle. Stand by. So as it relates to the front and the big red F, again, I created a little bit of a divot right there with my screwdriver last night when I was trying to see, is there any way you can at least chip out some of that F, and it just basically chipped the body. Now this part of the body is just wood, okay? Now it's not super stout wood. I mean, that chipped pretty easy. Of course, I had a screwdriver. I was going at it pretty fast and loose, and a razor blade as well. But since that red F, you know what, guys? Man, if my rock and roll eyes don't deceive me, I think that red F right there is a little bit lighter than right there. I'm wondering if we shouldn't just handle that up with a razor blade again and just try. Sparky, here's what I was thinking, man. I watched Spark one day, and hey, man, check out Sparky's channel, man. Go over and give my brother some love. Tell him I sent you, man. Yeah, man, Sparky's a cool dude. Anyway, this will timestamp the video for you, Spark. You just posted a video about a Gibson guitar. Yeah, man, that you bought that you didn't know. It was an LP model that you didn't know would have the Gibson headstock on it. Yeah, man, I've had a couple of those to the shop. They're pretty decent guitars. I sold them both. I made sure that both buyers knew that they were not actual Gibsons. Both of them were okay with that, and both of them loved those guitars, man. Sell that guitar, baby. If you don't like it, sell it. That's what I'm saying. All right, so here's this thing right here. Just be, you know, I know that you will, but just be upfront with people and just tell them, hey, this is a knockoff, man. All right, now, so I'm beginning to think I could do one or two things. The challenge with the F is that if I spray paint this with black paint, you would see the outline of that F. I don't know. It feels a little bit like it's not really indented and it's not really sticking out. Technical terms this morning. It's early, guys. Hey, I just sold the Squier Strat, man. The black and gray pearloid situation to a mom of a teen that's learning to play guitar, man. And I sold her that, and I created like a little bundle with the stretch amp and some other stuff, man. And she was happy, happy, happy. I gave him a fantastic deal, as you know that I would. Well, why would you know that? Anyway, if you hang out with me, you know they got a great deal. Okay, so here's the thing. Because I did have some money in the guitar, you know. All right, enough of that. Go back to Spark for a minute. So I saw Spark one day, and he had epoxy. And he covered a guitar with epoxy before he finned it. Now, if I covered this with epoxy, would the epoxy create a level surface? Now it feels, if I close my eyes and do this, I really can't feel the F. Okay, maybe right there a little bit, but most of it is not detectable, at least to my old rock and roll hands. Okay, but the challenge is, for some reason, when I put paint on this, it kind of, the shape of the F still comes through, not the color, the shape. All right, so that's one option. The other option is, and this is just a crazy radical thought, what if we put a big stripe right here? Let me demonstrate. Now, would I do this with the blue tape? I don't know. I really don't have, it's not really wide enough. It's really not wide enough. Will that show through? If I painted over that, would you be able to see that? I'm thinking maybe you would be able to see it, Jack. And that would defeat the whole purpose. Now, can I feel it? No, not really. That would give it some texture. That would give it some flavor. You'd have these two kind of weird little spots right here. The other thing I could do is I could go over a little bit and put just one more. This guy's doing this in real time. Yeah, I'm doing it in real time. I'm hanging out with my friends, man. My friends don't care how much time I take doing this, baby. Well, maybe they do. Now that's just cheesy, just to have that little bit of that tip right there showing. Oh, that's an idea. Oh, that's an idea. What if I just, oh, that's an idea. All right, let's do this, guys. What if we did that? All right, guys, you can put it in the comments all the reasons why this isn't going to work. All right, now, here's the challenge that I have. The challenge that I have is I've still got this spot right here, this little dingleberry right here hanging out. So that would show. And if I tried to put another piece of tape here, what's the likelihood that I can get that line exactly pristine? Well, it's not very good, is it? We've all hung out together. This guy's just wasting that tape. Yes, I know. All right, guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, I can't tell you how much I hate what I'm about to do. What if I did something like that? Now, candidly, I don't know what 52.0 means. I have no idea. It is a sticker that I got. I was in a recovery program. And when I commenced from the recovery program, this sticker was in a little goodie bag. What does 52.0 mean? I don't know. I think it was some kind of like, I don't know, man. Maybe it was like a Bible verse thing, but I don't know. How many books of the Bible have 52 chapters? I mean, the book of Psalms has 150. But other than that, man, I don't know. And it's anyway, I don't know what that means. But I don't have to know what it means. My nephew's guitar, I don't know what half those stickers meant. So if I could just finish it, right? Put that sticker on it, lacquer over it, call it done. And we'll call her 52. What do you think? Man, I hate that idea. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. But it is an idea. And if I'd really like to, if I'm going to put it on there, I'd like to put it on there like something like that. Something a little, I mean, that looks a little too, it looks like an accountant did it, right? Straight. Let me mess with Sparky's OCD and my own. All right. Something like that. You know what, guys? I'm doing that. I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to lacquer over it. That's what I'm doing. I'm done with this. Now, if you can see that F through that, guys, I had the thought. I'd had the thought. If I owned a blowtorch, I would torch this. I don't mean set the guitar on fire. I mean burn that. And I had thought about taking my soldering iron and trying to make a little pattern of some kind. You know what I mean? So if we could turn that F into like a couple arrows or something. I don't know, we're going to do one of those things. Well, my friends, what are we going to do first? Well, I think the first thing I need to do is put some CA glue in this crack. I've got to try to stabilize this, I think. That's first order of business. The reason that I like to do the back of the guitars first is because the back of the guitar is finished, then I can work on the front. Because I have learned, shout out to all the refin projects of the past, I have learned that if I don't leave the front for last, inevitably what will happen is that I will be working on the back and I will jack up the front, and it is a never-ending saga. So anyway. All right, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this up. The challenge is now I can't see it. And that's good, right? That's the challenge that you want. But if I knew about the epoxy thing, I really do think if it had epoxy on it, I would have a flat surface. Anyway. Challenge with the crack is, guys, I can't really see it anymore. All right, let's do it. Well, all right, my friends, that is one coat of Minwax Gunstock 231. It's my favorite stain, and I really like the way that looks. I'm going to let this dry, maybe half an hour or so, and then I'm going to hit it again, and you're going to be able to tell where I did some corrective work right here, and all of this is going to live, I guess, guys. I'm going to have to do that. Yep, that's what I'm thinking. This is the back. That is, that is water-based Canadian maple. Now what I did in the previous iteration of this attempt is I actually mixed on the back the Canadian maple and the gunstock, and it gave it a really great color. But again, I think that's what caused our whitewashing, our blushing, or our chemical reaction. I still don't know what happened. All right, so I'm going to hit this again here in a little while, and we'll come back and talk about it. Well, in breaking news, my friends, the puppy just tried to eat my glasses. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. All right, well, here's where we are. We've got 2 coats of... hang on, the dog wants to go out. You hear this dog ringing the bell? We got a bell on the back door, and when he wants to go outside, it rings the bell. Stand by. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I've personally never owned a dog that could ring the doorbell to go outside, but this dog can. Not really a doorbell, it's like a little, like a jingle bell. Yeah, kind of fun. All right, let's talk about the guitar. Enough with the dog already. Hey man, calm down, it's my life. Guys, the channel is called Ted Talks Guitars and Life. This is the life part. Okay, so this is the very ugly front of the guitar. Ugly because of this corrective opportunity to put some CA glue in there. And this whole mess right here, which we'll deal with later. So, this Minwax Gunstock 231 is oil-based. It is not water-based. On the back, we've got our Canadian Maple Salmon water stain, and it is dry. I did this yesterday. So I'm going to go out in the backyard. I'm going to put lacquer on the back of this, and I'm copacetically going to let it dry. The best part about this guitar is that it stands up. So, yep, that gives me plenty of opportunity to work on it. All right, guys, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some lacquer on the back, and we'll see what this looks like. Because the question is, was it the water-based stain that caused the milky white? Was it the combo of the water-based stain and the oil-based stain, which is what I did before? Have not duplicated that here. This is just straight up water-based stain. Let's see how lacquer treats it. Stand by. Well, all right, my friends, that is... on the back, we did the Canadian Maple water-based salmon stain, and that is a pretty good smattering? Yeah, why not? Smothering of Mohawk lacquer. So I guess we're gonna see, do we get any milky white here? I don't have any at the moment, but I may go out in a moment and just touch up a couple of spots. I've got one right here that it's hard to tell in the light, outside of the light. This horn up here still looks a little pale to me, but anyway, it is. So guys, from here we're gonna let this dry. We'll come back and see what it looks like. All right, having fun with lacquer. Yeah, Jack. Well, all right, my friends, we have we have 5 light coats of Mohawk lacquer on the back of the guitar body. Again, this is water-based stain, that Canadian Maple Salmon product. This is Mohawk clear. This is 5 coats. I don't see any milky white except for right here at the bottom. And I think that's just because I overly sprayed right there. But other than that, it looks pretty good. Now, there were a couple of times while I was spraying, I saw a little milky white, and I told myself, don't panic, that's humidity. Remember I told you that sometimes the milky white, this is all according to my research. Guys, put it in the comments, share your knowledge base with us. I'm a beginner still in all of this. I'm just trying to figure out my life, okay? But according to my research, that milky white could be 1, humidity, and it will go away. 2, it could be just because you've got too much product in one place, i.e. that right there, uneven, basically. Or 3, I think what we encountered, as I said previously, was a chemical reaction. So, I think I'm proving the chemical reaction thing kind of wrong, in that this is a water-based stain, this is Mohawk lacquer, and we don't have any milky white. Now, we're going to come back and I'm going to be checking it hour by hour. There's no need to keep bringing you in, unless I see milky white. If I see the milky white breakout, then I will for sure bring you back and let you see that. If not, I'm going to let this dry. So this time tomorrow, we'll take another look at it. And if it's dry enough, then we will move to working on the front. And yeah, man, that's the plan. All right, that's the update. So far, so good. Well, all right, my friends, it has been about 5-6 hours since I did all the lacquering on the back of the guitar body. Happy to report that the white spot down here did go away. I guess it was just humidity or something. However, I do have a little glob right there. So we'll be dealing with that when we go to wet sanding the back of the guitar body. That may be this time tomorrow or a little bit later tomorrow evening, or it could be the day after that. It just really depends on how I feel about things as we proceed. The front of the guitar, let me show you what we got going on. On the front of the guitar, we've got two coats, liberal coats, of Minwax 231 gunstock. That is oil-based, not water-based. I kind of sort of like the color. I'm thinking I might want to go one more coat of that just to see what that'll get us. And then I guess tomorrow we'll move into stickering this bad boy up and throw some lacquer. We got to cover that F up, Jack. That F driving me crazy, baby. Well, guys, man, what an adventure this old spare parts guitar project has turned out to be. Again, special thanks to Strings and Pucks for sending this body over for the learning adventure that it is, my friends. And hey, special shout out to the Jacks, our channel members, for all your love, support, encouragement, and continued edification along the way, my friends. And thanks to all of you for taking any time today to talk about guitars and life. Man, you guys are the best. Well, as always, wherever you are in your guitar journey, I pray it's a long, smooth, safe, joy-filled ride for you, Jack. Hey, rock on with your bad selves, everybody. Catch you down the road.